Hello, how is everyone doing? It is your fallen angel back with another video. Today, we are doing the alphabet of the cosmos, or understanding the planetary symbols in a much greater depth. Before we get started, feel free to check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. Also like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's begin. This includes the symbols and names of the planets and the signs, their groupings and dominions. The planets including, for convenience of phrasing, the sun and moon, are in 9 numbers. Stated in the order of their distances from the earth, they are as follows. So guys, even in our previous videos, we understand a lot of things within the cosmos operates off 9s. This is a completionary number, right? The 9 is a completionary number, whether this be the 9 planets, including the sun and the moon, whether this be 9 months of conceiving, 270 days to be exact, whether this be 360 adding up to 9, all these things add up to the completionary number of 9. This will be a reoccurring theme that we will see throughout the cosmos. The moon, which returns to the same place in the zodiac in about 27 days, and to its conjunction with the sun in about 29 days. Every 19 years, the new moons fall in the same part of the zodiac. The moon's characteristic is change or mobility. So guys, when we think about the moon, it usually cycles in about 27, 28, or even 29 days at its peak. The way the cosmos works is, if we based everything off the moon, which that's how it should be, the moon will cycle about 28 days. If we did 28 days of 13 months, we would get 364 days. That one additional day would just be the day for rest. So originally there should be 13 months with 28 days, because a woman cycles in 28 days. If you think of any birth control, they are operating off 28 days, whether this be Junel or any of the other brands. They're operating off a 28-day cycle. They understand that menstruation is operating off a 28-day cycle. The woman's menstruation and the soul of the woman coincide with the moon. As the man, the soul coincides with the sun. Now, what we also must recognize is that the moon has a very characteristic trait with the soul. The understanding that women can bring life from the ether. They can bring it from the spirit world into this life, into the physical plane. That is also a special thing to understand in this cosmos as well. Now, back to the 13-month ideology. The 13-month ideology, if we had 13 months, the year the cat, or the cat would be on the calendar, because in the Chinese astrology, the cat didn't make it because he was tricked by the rat. And ever since then, the cat has been the rat's enemy for life. But it also received immortality. It received powers that we don't understand. The cat is known to have 9 lives for a reason. So, if we were to operate off a 13-month system, or if we were to operate off a 13-year system, the cat would have that spot, and the Jade Emperor would have to give that 13-year spot to the cat. But instead, so often, the year of the rabbit is also considered the year of the cat at times. But for the most part, it should just be considered the year of the rabbit. Venus, which returns to the same part of the zodiac, about the same date in 8 years. It is at its nearest to the Earth when in inferior conjunction with the Sun. Its characteristic is placidity or peace. It is called by the Greeks Aphrodite. Mercury, when in inferior conjunction with the Sun, is next in distance from the Earth. It returns to the same longitude on the same date in 79 years. Its characteristic is activity. The Sun is the chronocrater of our system. So when we think of this chronocrater, we must think chrono just means the beginning. Crater is just massive meteorite-like object. and of all time is measured by its apparent movements. It has an apparent motion round the earth in hours and 4 minutes, and an annual motion through the zodiac in 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 49 seconds. The earth is nearer the sun than it used to be. The day is shorter, and the precession of the equinoxes is greater. The equinoxes pass through each sign in about 2,160 years. Even the 2,160 years, guys, this all adds up to 9. 2 plus 6, 8 plus the 1 is 9. But where do we get these 2,100 from? This is the number that's divided from the 26,000 years from when it began. The vernal equinox is now the constellation Pisces, and in about 700 years will be Aquarius. The characteristic of the sun is vitality. Also, guys, we have videos on this channel that teach you directly how to pineal meditate through the sun, the gold-like material. Mars returns to the same part of the zodiac about the same time at the end of 79 years. Consequently, it forms conjunction with, in the same part of the zodiac at the end of the period. Its characteristic is energy. Jupiter returns to the same longitude about the same date every 83 years. It is called the greater fortune. Its characteristic is expansion. We also know that Jupiter is probably considered the larger of all the other planets. Saturn has a period of 59 years, after which it comes to the same longitude about the same date. It is called the greater in fortune. Its characteristic is privation. Uranus has a synodic period of 84 years. Its characteristic is disruption. Neptune has a period of about 165 years, and its characteristic is chaos. The periods of the planets according to the Chaldeans are Moon 4 years, Mercury 10 years, Venus 8 years, Sun 19 years, Mars 15 years, Jupiter 12 years, and Saturn 30 years. Thus the Moon rules the life from birth to 4 years of age, and it succeeded up to the 14, then Mercury, to the age of 22, followed by the Sun from 22 to 41, to which Mars succeeds until 56, and is followed by who rules the life up to the age of 68, the last 30 years up to the age of 98, being dominated by Saturn. These are the periods recited by Shakespeare in his famous passage, in As You Like It, beginning, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Thus the moon is the babe, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Mercury is the scholar, Venus the lover, Mars the soldier, Jupiter the judge, with good cap and lined, and Saturn the lean and slippered pantaloon. The last stage of all is that of Uranus, disruption, the paralytic senility of which condition is aptly described by the bard. Now the planetary colors. Neptune, mauve, lilac, heliotrope, admixtures of pale blue and scarlet. Uranus, gray, black, and white mixed in, checks or stripes. Saturn, dark brown, or formerly known for black. Jupiter, violet, purple. Mars, scarlet or crimson. Sun, orange or gold, or a light white gold. Venus, pale blue, turquoise. Mercury, indigo, dark blue. Moon, opal. Iridescent shrines, yellow, and in watery signs for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, sea green. The planets in their ruling days. Sun for Sunday, Moon for Monday, Mars Tuesday, Mercury Wednesday, Jupiter Thursday, Venus Friday, and Saturn for Saturday. The dominions are sometimes called houses, from domus, a house, but as other divisions of the heavens are so called. The term dominions to describe the signs of the zodiac ruled over the planets, in a general sense, and having regard to the specific nature of each planet. Saturn is in sympathy with Mars, Mars with the Sun, Jupiter with the Moon and Venus, while Mercury is variable, taking its radical teniture from the planet to which its closest aspect at birth. So guys, this was just a quick key or guide to the alphabet of astrology or the planetary symbolisms. Feel free to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below. I'd love to read them. Check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. This was your fallen angel, and I am out.